What the fuck is this?
Hey guys, it's your boy Alex Future here, back with another video, and we are on the last episode of The Last of Us Season 2 series. And I gotta say, guys, it has been a journey, quite the journey. You know, there's a saying where you end how you start, and The Last of Us TV show series hasn't had much of a very good start whatsoever. Okay, now let's get into the video. But before we do that, please feel free to like and subscribe to the Alex Future channel. Guys, I'm really trying to get to 100 subscribers this year. So if you guys enjoy what I'm doing, feel free to like and subscribe and be in tune for more videos. Now, there are some good things about this episode. Frankly, I believe that this episode is by far the most engaging of what we've gotten thus far in the series. But it's the final episode, so of course you expect it to be engaging. However, what we've gotten so far has been lackluster. So it's almost like comparing it to eating a cake made of shit, but it has a couple cherries on top just for you to appeal to it. So we have one of our first scenes, Jesse and Dina. Jesse's attending to Dina's wounds, right? But Ellie's nowhere in sight because she went to go find Nora. The only problem I have with this is the fact that Ellie went off on her own, right? So she can be a distraction from the Seraphites, right? But she doesn't regroup with Jesse and Dina, telling them, hey, you know, you guys go along. Jesse, you take Dina back to the theater. I'm going to go back to Nora and deal with her. So it kind of makes it seem as if Jesse and Dina ditched Ellie, in my opinion. Which, you know, it feels a little bit odd for them to do it. It seems a bit out of character to abandon Ellie like that without really knowing where she's going. So we get the scene with Jesse and Ellie walking through Seattle trying to find Tommy. And you can tell Jesse's demeanor is slightly more agitated compared to the game. And that is because Jesse finds out that Dina's pregnant. And because of this revelation, not only does he have a new sense of conviction, he feels a new sense of purpose, right? He's going to be a father now. So everything has changed. So now he's in Seattle, not only trying to find Tommy, but he has to survive for his new child, right? So you can understand why he's upset with Ellie. And so I really enjoyed this change. Compared to the game, Jesse finds out, he's like, it's alright, you know, let's just try to get out of Seattle. But here, you can tell, like, okay, we're on a mission. Let's complete the mission and get the fuck out of here. Which I really do like this aspect of the episode, right? And on top of that, we find out that Shimmer is alive. Shimmer is alive in the show canon, right? And I'm surprised he isn't dead. I'm surprised because they just left Shimmer out 2 days, 2.5 days outside by himself. I'm surprised a Seraphite hasn't come and claimed him, right? But yeah, Shimmer's alive. Maybe he might come back with us to Jackson in the show universe, but that's one of the good aspects about this season is that Shimmer is alive. So we transition from this scene to the scene where Ellie and Jesse find themselves in a garage trying to escape from the rain, right? All of a sudden, they hear gunshots, they go hide, and they find a group of wolves hunting down the Seraphite. Now, Ellie all of a sudden has a sense of heart and wants to help this random Seraphite. Jesse is like, hell no. We don't know this Seraphite. This is a random Seraphite. There's a war going on in the city and I don't want to get involved in it because I have a kid on the way. So, Ellie, forget about what you're about to do. And Ellie, she wants to argue with Jesse and it's like, I don't understand. We don't get this sense of conviction from Ellie to help people at all in this season. So I just don't understand where this is coming from. We don't even get a sense of this from the game or the show. So this kind of feels out of character from both a game and show only perspective. And on top of that, Jesse says it's a 2v6, we're outgunned, we can't deal with these wolves. And I kind of have to agree with Jesse a bit here, because this is show Ellie, right? This is show Ellie. She hasn't proven herself to be able to handle a group of wolves yet. However, if this was game Ellie, I would have been like, Jesse, this is game Ellie. Of course you guys can deal with a 2v6 easily, but this is show Ellie and not game Ellie. Moving on from that, we get the scene with Isaac and this high-ranking wolf, right? And I really like the scene because it really furthers the characterization with both Isaac and Abby, while also uplifting her importance and her role in the overall wolves organization. You don't really get that in the game. You get a sense of it, right? You get a sense that Abby, out of all the wolves, is the most important. But seeing and hearing Isaac talk about Abby in this manner, wow, it really, I just really like this scene. I just really like the scene in general. I have really nothing to complain about it. Guys, before I get into my next talking point, if you still believe that show Ellie is comparable to game Ellie, then I don't know what to tell you, because this next scene basically proves my point. Bella Ramsey was the worst casting for game Ellie. I keep telling you guys, I keep saying this. Now, I understand that show and game Ellie are both selfish in their pursuit for Abby. But in this version, oh my god, guys. This version, Ellie is, I don't know how to describe it. I don't even know how to describe it, because I understand game Ellie was selfish, right? But not as selfish as show Ellie. Show Ellie is like, fuck everybody, fuck everybody. As long as I get Abby, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And it's just crazy to me. And you could make the point that game Ellie also exudes these traits as well. But you really don't get that as much as compared to the show. Show Ellie's just like, fuck the community, basically. Fuck everybody. I'm gonna go after Abby. Fuck you, Jesse. Fuck you, Dina. Fuck you, Tommy. I'm gonna go after Abby. Very, very aggressively selfish. And on top of that, the acting doesn't save it whatsoever. The acting in this scene is, from Bella Ramsey's performance, is slightly, not slightly, it's a bit atrocious. It's atrocious. I feel like she could have conveyed the scene, the emotions going on a bit better, if you're asking me. But anyway, on to the next part. We then eventually transition to the scene where Ellie's trying to find a boat to get to the aquarium, and she sees a group of wolves, right? And she gets on the boat, and as she's riding through the ocean, she gets caught in a wave, and then she wakes up ashore on the Seraphite Island, which, you know, it's a bit perplexing to me. But before I get into that, once she's on the island, she gets spotted by one of the Seraphites who thinks she's a wolf. She gets captured, and then right before she's executed, they get notified. The Seraphites get notified that the wolves are on the island, and they just leave her. And then Ellie hops back on the boat and then heads straight to the aquarium. And you know, I'm a bit confused about this. What was the purpose of her getting on the island? What was the overall purpose? I just don't understand. I know in the game, right, in the development of The Last of Us Part 2, Ellie was supposed to go to Seraphite Island, right? But it didn't make sense, so that's why they didn't add it. And it still doesn't make any sense in the show. So I just don't understand the overall purpose of her being on the Seraphite Island. And it's just weird because it's like, okay, she gets caught by the wave, and then somehow she swims all the way to the Seraphite Island, which is weird to me. I just don't understand it. But anyway, moving on from that, we finally get to the aquarium, and everything's all fine except for the part that Ellie does the map trick. The map trick with Owen and Mel. Ellie does the map trick with Owen and Mel, and I just don't. It doesn't work from the show perspective because we don't get that little scene in the beginning of day one where they walk into the room and they see Tommy's handiwork, him using Joel's methods in order to get information from the wolves, right? And then we don't get that in the show. So seeing it for the first time in the show, it's a little bit odd. It's a little bit odd, right? If they added that scene in the beginning of the show, or we get a little teaser, or Ellie does it in the beginning of the season with a group of wolves, right? Then I'm like, okay, that's fine. But we don't get that at all. So it kind of just feels a little bit weird when she does it at the last second, the last episode. And then on top of that, Owen and Mel's death, it just doesn't really work for me. It doesn't really work for me because not only does Ellie just it makes it seem as if Ellie shot Owen and Mel by accident, which is not how it was in the game. Ellie shot Owen with almost with a sense of purpose, like bro, if you move, I'm gonna shoot you down. But when Ellie shoots Owen, she's like kind of startled, like, whoa, what did I just do? And then Mel gets caught like that. She doesn't even struggle. She doesn't even struggle at all, like in the game. She just gets caught by the bullet, and then boom, she falls to the ground. And it just feels a bit weak to me. It feels a little bit weak to me compared to how it is in the game. I was a little bit saddened on how Mel went out. A little bit saddened because you know she was just trying to guide Ellie to take out the baby, but Ellie was too late. And Tommy and Jesse, they come. Overall, the whole scene just doesn't work for me. The whole Owen and Mel death scene, it doesn't really work for me. It doesn't. And then towards the end, we get that scene, that iconic scene with Abby, right? And if you guys seen my previous videos, you know how I feel about how they should have done this season. I really feel as though they should have had Abby's and Ellie's story in conjunction with each other at the same time. So one scene where with Abby and one scene where with Ellie, right? But they didn't do that. So you kind of get the same effect how you got in the game versus with the show. It's the same effect. So I don't know why they decided to go that route. It didn't really make sense. It kind of felt a little bit convoluted, but it's whatever, right? It's Craig Mason and Neil Druckmann's mess. Mr. Future, what would you rate this episode? I'm gonna have to rate this episode, guys. The final episode of season 2. I'm gonna just have to give it a 6 out of 10. Just a 6 out of 10. It was okay. I was a bit engaged, but overall it was just okay. But anyways, if you guys like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Like I said before, I really want to get this channel up to 100 subscribers this year. And on top of that, after this video is released, I will be working on a Last of Us Season 2 review video, and then we will transition to maybe something else. But anyways, yeah, please like and subscribe, guys, and peace out.